Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Hannah binti Irani. My mythic number is 1180749. Okay, I'm gonna present to you about the background of the Islamic sword. Okay, Islamic sword, which is the derivative investment vehicle whose value are based on the value of other assets such as the stocks, bond, and foreign exchange. So derivatives can be used to hedge any position to protect against the danger of an asset failing in value or to speculate on the future movement in the underlying instrument. So forward, future, option, and also swap are the four most prevalent derivatives instruments. So Islamic foreign exchange swap is the Islamic version of the conventional swap. So usury, which is the riba, gambling, maisir, and all other unnecessary ambiguity, which is gharar, should all be avoided in an Islamic foreign exchange swap. So the Islamic swap contract is a hybrid contract that aims to achieve the same goal as the conventional swap contract, which is a derivative instrument that has the specific objective to hedge against the risk of fluctuation in the currency exchange rate risk. There are two types of Islamic foreign exchange swap arrangement that commonly used in the market. So the first one is the contract of buy at-tawarruk. It's adopted in the one structure, and the second is the wa'ad, which is the promise or undertaking in use in the other. Next, for the issue in the Islamic foreign exchange swap, which is the problem arise as both party wants to exchange currency in the future, but at the same time both of them already fix a rate which is fixed today, while the contract also is seen in the future, and it become issue as the exchange contract is seen today based on the forward basis and the exchange happen in the future date. So here another issue arise is to what extent the Islamic swap product is really free from any speculative activity that is not allowed in Sharia, as people use Islamic swap as an instrument to hedge, which sometimes people tend to speculate future event, as speculation is common in this derivatives market. So this stated that the fiduciary of a more detailed guidelines or parameters, which is tawabit, is necessary to make sure that this product is used solely for the purpose of hedging and not for speculative activities. That's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aida Nasrin binti Mustafa. Matrix number 1180750. So now I'll present about the differences and similarities between Islamic swap and conventional swap based on the case study that has been given by our lecturer. First of all, the similarities of this hedge derivative are to protect against market risks such as interest rate and the currency rate changes in the open market. These products can also be used for cost-cutting and hedging objectives. To maintain their competitiveness, profitability, and sustainability, they address risk management to limit or eliminate both hazards and use to hedge or minimize risk for an institution or financial organization by preventing the asset's value from being exposed to the market volatility and fluctuation. Next, the differences between Islamic swaps and conventional swap are Islamic swap structured must follow the Islamic business law principles, which implies the contracts must meet Sharia requirements such as the elimination of riba, gharar, and any element of gambling in the transactions. In conventional swaps, it involves a credit default swaps in the conventional market, where the buyer pays a sum and receives insurance to be paid in the event of a loan or customer default. Second, Islamic swap has a mix of spot and forward contracts. Based on the case study, foreign swaps are exchanged in two stages. When the initial currency conversion occurs, the USD is converted to Mayar depending on the spot rate. Both parties will sign a forward contract on the same day to exchange Mayar for USD at a forward rate. Meanwhile, for the conventional swap, the exchange in a forward contract only happens once. The party, for example, wishes to convert USD to Malaysian Ringgit. The forward contract will expire after the USD to Mayar exchange. In a forward contract, the Mayar will not be converted back to USD. Third, in Islamic swap, it must include the requirement in buy on saraf for an exchange involving two distinct currencies to be handled on a spot basis. As a result, it is done on a forward basis, where the contract is signed today, but the exchanges take place later, which is on the date of maturity. For the conventional swap, the parties involved wish to exchange currencies in the future, but they have previously agreed on a rate which is in effect today, while the contract is still in effect. Fourth, Islamic swaps cannot be utilized for funding and trading activities that include profit-making speculation, as is common in conventional finance, but for conventional swap, it has the main objective, which is to maximize profit through speculative actions. The part of speculation is dependent on interest rate assumptions that are expected to rise or fall. Last but not least, the instrument involved in Islamic swap is Islamic foreign swaps, Islamic cross-country swaps, and Islamic profit rate swaps. Meanwhile, in conventional swaps involves interest rate swaps, currency swaps, commodity swaps, and equity swaps. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Sahira binti Ismail with number matric 11807446. And next, I will continue on the methodology and recommendation for this case study. So, for the methodology, an Islamic foreign exchange swap is a contract meant to reduce market participants' exposure to unpredictable and fluctuating market currency exchange rates. Currently, there are three types of Islamic swap, which are foreign exchange swap, cross-currency swaps, and profit rate swaps. And for the recommendation, there are two arrangements for this case study, which is Islamic foreign exchange swap based on tawaruk and Islamic foreign exchange swap based on wa'ad. First, Islamic foreign exchange swap based on tawaruk. To accomplish the same impact as a traditional foreign exchange, this is a construct with the application of two sets of tawaruk at the beginning. For example, suppose an investor has $14.5 million and want to invest in euro currency but does not want to be subject to currency swings. This foreign exchange swap product is designed to safeguard investors from the dangers of currency rate fluctuation. And as we can see at the diagram, first, investor buy commodity was $14.5 million through the bank by cash. Second, investor sells the commodity to the bank at price $14.501 million by credit. The expiry date is 1 year. And third, bank sell commodity to broker B by cash and obtains $14.5 million. The bank changes $14.5 million to euro 10 million based on the spot rate. And fourth, bank buys the commodity from broker B worth euro 10 million by cash. Bank now sells the commodity worth euro 10 million to the investor at the price of 10.141 million euro by credit. Expiry date is also 1 year. And last, investor sells the commodity to broker A and obtain 10 million euro. And while for the Islamic foreign exchange based on wa'ad, the wa'ad structure is in Islamic foreign exchange comprises an initial exchange of currency and a commitment of or pledge, as known as wa'ad, to carry out another swap at a later date depending on the rate set today. When the first swap expires, the second swap will be used to restore the original currency. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nurul Nadia binti Ibrahim, matric number 11800747. In conclusion, this paper discussed the case study with Sharia parameters on Islamic foreign exchange swap as hedging mechanism in Islamic finance. Islamic foreign exchange swap is an Islamic version of conventional swaps. The Islamic swap contract is a hybrid contract that aims to achieve the same goals as a conventional swap contract. The contract by al-tawarruk and du'aan are two types of Islamic foreign exchange swap arrangement that are currently used on the market. We have discussed further on several issues that related to Islamic and conventional swaps in this economy, including the requirement that exchange for two different currencies must be transacted on a spot basis, and to what extent the Islamic swap product is really free from any activities that are not allowed in Sharia. Other than that, we also discuss differences and similarities between Islamic swap and conventional swap. Islamic swap must have a mix of spot and forward contract, while the exchange in a forward contract for conventional swap only happens once. There are several methods that are applicable for Islamic swap have been discussed in this paper. Hence, the bulk of swap products certified by Sharia committees at financial institutions have a provision that Islamic swap be used strictly for hedging. As a result, swap can only be used as a low-cost insurance transaction to protect an asset from unfavorable change, such as an unplanned or unpleasant change in its value. That's all from our group. Thank you.